Hello everyone, I know there's a lot of fans of Lanoguard out there, so we're going to do a second test. The first test for Lanoguard didn't really work out that well, so we're going to be really nice to Lanoguard. We're going to do a second test, and we're also going to do a test of the grease and the underseal. So I've got some videos I made earlier of spraying it, and I've got an update, a day after update. Now on the original test on Lanoguard, it rusted after 24 hours. This time it's done a bit better, but in some respects I'm still a bit negative about Lanoguard. And I'll explain in the videos, but let me show you the test samples of the second test after 24 hours. Very interesting. So here we have the Lanoguard grease. Would you believe that this little pot here, this cost £20 and the shipping was £5, which I found really egregious really, because £5 shipping in England, and you know that this would be probably £3, but you hardly ever get places now that they'll send out over the shipping price. If anything, it's normally always factored into the product price. I just found it a little annoying that it was £5 and it took 3 to 4 days to arrive. Why, I don't know. And you'll get this for £20, which is for areas that are prone to be washed off. For example, when you go over a puddle sprayed up with water and stuff like that. So you're supposed to, it's a grease, you apply it with a brush on those areas that are most exposed, and you think, oh, okay, well, it's super powerful, maybe it's worth it. But it's really irritating because I open it up, you have a look, and it's solid. And that's really irritating, because it means you have to heat it up. That's why it's over this bowl here, because I'm going to heat it in hot water and hopefully make it more liquid-like, more usable. What a pain. It looks awful. It's gonna be hard to apply. I've checked it online, and with a brush it's just really gooey and horrible to apply. And you're getting this for £20 compared to built amber, and you can get 20 litres of built amber. And on my test, built amber does absolutely amazing. Even when the surface is scratched, I've actually got that fourth part of that test coming up. But yeah, I'm not impressed with having to, well, the amount of it for £20. I'm not impressed with that. I mean, look at it, £20 for that, and you have to mess about. Okay, so let's put this in hot water and then apply it to a test piece. So will this work any better than built amber? I find it very hard to believe, but I'm open to it. I'm going to do a test piece and we're going to find out how this is supposed to be resistant to a jet wash up to a certain amount of bar, a lot of force basically, and we'll find out if it is. I'm actually going to do the test and see if it does wash off easily. Even if it doesn't, there's no way it's going to stick any more than built amber or some of the other products, and it's extremely expensive. I know I keep on going on about it, but £20, oh my god. Okay, I'll come back. So a lot of reviews I have seen about Lanoguard, especially on Facebook and other places, are reviews after they've immediately applied it, and you can get a sense of like completion satisfaction when you've done hard work, because it really is hard work. I've done lots of these, and it's very tiring, and afterwards you think, wow, yeah, I've done it, and you're so pleased and happy. And what a lot of people do is they leave a review straight away afterwards, so you don't know what's happened further down the line. Or if they left a review, it's like sometimes it's been 8 months and you see people going around saying, oh well, there's a bit here, there's a bit here. I don't think I actually put it on properly there, and it seems to have done okay, and you know, things like that. I mean, personally, I would want underseal to be lasting perfectly for at least a year, at least 2 years, 3 years, you know, something like that, because it's a lot of effort to put this on. People think, yeah, you can just brush it on. It ain't that easy at all. It's very tiring work. If you're doing a motorhome, for example, that could take you 4 days. And a car, that would take you, even with the right tools, it would take you quite a few hours a day, for example. And so yeah, too many of these reviews are paid, and or they're not genuine reviews in a sense. You know, like when if someone particularly wants something to work because they've invested so much in it, they're liable to, they're so attached to it in a sense. It's like, yeah, it's okay. They want it to be, you know. And yeah, so I'd rather just do tests and find out. It's a better way of doing it. And unlike other places or other YouTube channels or other people supposedly reviewing this, this has not been sent to me by Lanoguard. I've actually had to pay £20 for this, which I have to be honest, I'm a bit aggrieved about. But no one can suggest I'm biased. I paid for it myself. If it does well, I'll be happier actually, because it's cost that amount of money. So here we are. We're going to apply this Lanoguard grease, and it's been in hot water. Oh, it's a bit more. It's a bit softer. It's a bit more appealing looking. If it could be called appealing looking. I mean, it's not a solid goo now. It's a wet goo. And let's apply it. So they say by brush. And this has been applied to a clean piece of mild steel, and being brushed on. Now, is it being done in a scientific way? I don't know, but this is how people brush it on, I guess. I don't know, I guess so. We're going to put quite a thick layer on, and then what we're going to do is wait 24 hours and see if a jet wash or hose can displace it, because they say that a jet wash can't displace this. It's really tough to be put on the areas that are most likely to be washed off. So this is where you're going to put it, where you want extra protection. We've already shown that the normal Lanoguard can be washed off, and I will be doing an additional test on that. But this here, they say, oh, it can't be washed off even if you put a jet wash on it. It's quite horrible to apply. It's just, it looks absolutely awful. I'm not impressed by that. I mean, you could say, well, it doesn't matter. And I mean, well, it does matter in a sense that if you have built handle, you put it on, it looks absolutely beautiful. And if you go for all this work, it's nice to have the underside looking really beautiful, and this is just like a heap of junk. It's just gunk, isn't it? It looks horrible when you apply it, and you can be sure that stuff will stick to it. Anyway, let's come back in 24 hours and do the jet wash. So ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a wash-off test for Lanoguard's grease, which is usually put on the most weathered parts, the most susceptible to wash from the tyres. And it does state that it's able to withstand a pressure washer. So we are going to test this with not quite a pressure washer, just a normal hose, but it was fine-tuned with it directed into like a little circle, more powerful wash. Let's see what happens. Okay, let's see. We are seeing if this can be washed off. It loses a bit of pressure, this hose, so what I have to do is stop, allow it to build pressure up, and then do it again. Well, there probably is some left there, but it's certainly been washed off to some extent. We'll probably find, let's do, I think what we'll do is 3 times, 3 bursts on each test piece, see how they respond. So this will be the second blast. Okay, it's definitely being washed off. We're going to do this a 3rd time, and I don't know what Lanoguard mean by this being able to withstand 3 bar on the jet wash, because that there isn't a jet wash, it's just a normal hose. So it certainly doesn't seem to be withstanding this hose anyway. So this will be the 3rd time. Here we go. Okay. Well, I don't know what you think, but it seems to me that that's been completely washed off. So I am not convinced by Lanoguard's marketing. That is certainly not withstanding 3 bar of a jet wash. Absolutely not. So whether there's some remaining on there, and if it's going to withhold rust, we'll see. We'll keep it out and we'll see if it's if there's enough there to stop rusting. We're going to do the test pieces together. Okay, so now we're going to do some test washes on some of the others. Some of you may remember on the first test we've got all the samples here of different things like built hamber, dinner troll, Lanoguard. The Lanoguard normal underseal started to rust within 24 hours, but after that it didn't do so badly compared to fluid fill. So here we are. Here are the second test samples. And even though I'm not a great fan of Lanoguard for the reasons I've mentioned, it's been here 24 hours and there isn't rust showing this time. Which is good because I had done a spray test, quite a thorough spray test, and even though it seemed like a lot of the covering, the seal was removed, there's still enough remaining here to obviously give some protection, which is, hey, that's a good thing. So this is the Lanoguard wax grease. Because a lot of it was washed off, it doesn't look any different to the Lanoguard underseal. But I'll give it its dues, even though a lot of it seemed like it was washed off. It's been here 24 hours on mild steel, which rusts within hours, and it's still clear, which is very, very good. So it's going to be fingers crossed. Let's hopefully it does a bit better this time. And we're going to come back tomorrow and the next day, and yeah, I'm going to give you an update on all of these samples. Lanoguard grease, Lanoguard underseal, the normal underseal that's sprayed on. This here is Waxall by Genelite. This is Dinatrol, and this is Built Hamber Dynax UB. So I'll be back to give an update very soon.